people who could get pictures like this because people weren't allowed in. He drove through to see, what it looked like, and so we took pictures.
We're driving through a residential area here, and I'm guessing that it's probably up in what we would call Melody Manor, which would be north of 73rd on the east side of University Avenue. I think Fridley only had probably 10 police officers at that time, the looting had already started, and then that ends pretty quickly. This wasn't a structure fire at all. This was many structures on fire. Here we had created a huge rubble pile from the cleanup process, and we burned that in the area. That area would now be the site of the Columbia Arena.
So when you said that they were burning the houses there, how many, was that entire neighborhoods? I mean, was there one place they dumped everything?
Yeah, just one, it all went to one place.
So they just hauled everything over into the one spot for all of Fridley, or?
There's a load of homes being dumped there. This heavy equipment was lent to us by Truck Crane Service Company to assist in the cleanup. A fire like that you probably wouldn't be able to do today with the pollution standards that are in place. At one time, that pile before we lit it was over 3 stories tall.
And how many days did that burn?
Oh, weeks.
It was
Weeks.
Yeah.
Did people have asthma or something? I mean, I can just imagine all the stuff, the carpet and the drapes and everything that you wouldn't.
Yeah.
That you're right. You probably couldn't just do an
No, you
burn like
couldn't
that
do
anymore.
that anymore. No. This would be along 73rd Avenue, running from University over towards Highway 65. Again, that would be the Melody Manor area. Phone booth had been set up so people could make their calls. A couple of those were set up through the city.
That was set up after the storm.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody
Yeah.
was looking at that going, I can't believe the phone booth survived.
No, that was put there so they
After.
could. Mm-hmm.
Now, did most people stay and rebuild here? Did you have people give up and just
Oh,
move away?
I'm sure a few gave up, but not a lot. A few places had problems with their insurance, and the State Department of Commerce took care of that for them. Well, I probably took some of them. Dorothy might have taken some of them as we were driving along. Most of these were taken probably 3 or 4 days after the tornado had been through.
I think so.
Okay, that's down by the St. Stevenson School off East River Road. These are up in the trailer court on 75th or Osborne Road and Highway 65. But this, I was over in some of the islands in the Pacific after in World War II, just at the end of the war I was over there. And that's the way a lot of those look too, just like they've been bombed out, and trees would all be denuded. And you can see them big poles. Those are 95 foot tall. A lot of those got sheared off.
So it looked like it got to be nice weather after that. I mean, it's pretty sunny, hardly any clouds in the sky.
Oh, it had been nice. It was nice when it happened, really. It was quite a warm day to be able to build up that kind of energy. I think they said those storm clouds were topping off at about 50,000 feet. So
Wow.
most of this footage, I think, is just northeast of the Hayes School. North of Mississippi Street between University and Highway 65. They do a pretty complete job, those tornadoes.
I think the for rent sign was
Yeah.
a joke.
Oh yeah, there was quite a bit of that.
The vignetting at the edges where it goes to black.
Yeah, 'cause
Yep.
you had to turn your turret. You had 3 lenses on the camera, on old 8mm. I just converted. There's a house, Hardy's Touch, and then one where both the ends are missing.
Oh, is that the shadow of your car?
Probably, if it's moving.
Well, some of these it looks like the car was staying put a little
I think
bit.
we stopped sometimes because you couldn't get it all in.
So you're the one who was the camera person for a lot of this?
Well, he had to drive, and we just did the best we could with what we had.
I must have a bunch of slides on this too, because I had a pretty decent slide camera.
Wow.
Trying to identify some of these areas. are pretty difficult. I think we're back up towards the trailer court again.
Yeah, that's a car that was flipped on its side.
Over.
Yeah.
This looks to be the area close to Parkview School. It'll be around 61st and 5th, 6th, and 7th Street. But Fridley was lacking any warning system at all. They hadn't even made an application for warning sirens at that point.
It's funny how some walls go and some don't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out, was it a late spring or were all the leaves ripped off?
Oh, the leaves were ripped off. It was May is not, it was May 6th. That's early on. But it just denuded some of those trees. Here we're getting down in the commercial area. I think this is a junior high school on 61st and Westmore Lake Drive.
So since it was in the evening, school would have been out,
Yeah.
right?
There was an event going on at one of the, I think it was at the senior high. I thought it was the senior high, but Alan said it was the junior high. So, but there was some event going on at that time. I think I should get a ticket for parking there.
The next guy, the upside down one.
And there's the Parkview School, just a piece of.
Now, were they able to rebuild those, or did they
Oh yeah,
tear them down and start over?
that school's still there, and the junior high was rebuilt. And this school is used partly community center and for education. The fire station wasn't really designed to be a drive-through.
So were the vehicles also damaged, or?
Well, no, we were they were all out. See, one was in the station when that back wall went out, but the rest of them were all out on the road already.
Was it just one wall that went down? Was there more damage to
the
that?
back wall, yeah. The power went out, so the doors couldn't come down. And as the storm went through, you were able to build up a tremendous amount of pressure in there, and it just pushed that back wall out. And there's your National Guard unit was setting up. I was in the station at the time that happened. I was huddled down in the corner. We had some little partitioned offices out there where the chief and I worked, and half walls on them, Got hid behind one of those, the best I could. It was a volunteer department. There was only two of us that were career firefighters, the chief and myself. They'd have been at the station anyhow because it was drill night. Thursday night was always drill night. And some of them were already there, and the rest were coming because of the page.
Well, that's something else that people don't think about, is that all these firemen had to rush up to the station and leave their families. And the storm was not over. There was more coming, So a lot of wives got left with their kids by themselves to do the best they could.
And most of these homes were down along Main Street, south of Highway 100.
Well, that was a bunch of rentals there.
Yeah, these were apartments right here, rental properties. Well, we had people out working that didn't even know whether their families were safe or not. They had answered the call when the pagers went off and left, and that was before the tornado actually hit.
Now, had they already cleared that? Why is the ground so bare? Or that was a construction area before?
Yeah, I think so. That's along the edge of the highway. Highway was Highway 100 then, before it became interstate. This was Graves Interior. Again, we're down in south of what's now 694. This is 61st and 6th Street. People got to cleaning up in a hurry, gathering up, trying to find what they could. There's so many personal things that you try to find. There's a guy flirting with danger.
So Washington Street.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be just south of the high school.
Was the water tower damaged?
No, well, it was marked up, but it wasn't. Didn't spray any leaks or anything. They're just coming back from a call.
Looks like the street is dug up
Mm-hmm.
right in front of those caution signs.
It probably was a utility break, and there was a collapse of the street there.